Guys, welcome back to Gathering with God. I'm Ansley.
And I'm Kinsey.
And in today's episode, we'll be talking about Jesus' impact while he was here on earth. And it's going to be kind of like a series in a way. So, like, we'll be talking about Jesus' birth and then kind of like his, childhood and then going into like his life as, a teacher and just a prophet and, obviously being, the Messiah for all of us. So, but before we get into that, we have our sponsors. A special thanks to Silver Sky Woodworking for their support of our channel. Without them, it would be impossible to record this. If any of our listeners need custom furniture, accent walls, cutting boards, or custom cabinets, they should head over to viridiannews.org and click the link for Silver Sky. And we also have Legacy Lawn Care and Katie Studios Photography. They ended up purchasing a spot in our magazine, and so we just want to give them a shout out as well. Katie Studios, takes pictures for the yearbook and stuff for us. I know they do swim meets and obviously like underclassmen pictures and senior pictures. And if you go and look in the magazine, you'll see their ad and you'll see all the seniors from last semester in there. So, but we're always looking for new sponsors. So let us know on viridiannews.org if you'd like to be part of our work and reach our audience with us. Let's just get into how our week's been going, like how, everything's been going since the last podcast. You want to start off?
Yeah, I will. My life, I've just been working a lot, with my job and a lot of practices for band. And then Valentine's Day. We had Valentine's Day. I went on a little date.
Wait, where'd y'all go?
We went to dinner, and then we just went to his house.
That's fun.
We watched a movie, cute little romance movie.
Yeah.
Had some snacks,
Have you seen that movie, while we were on vacation or like
the people we meet?
Yeah.
No, my mom watched it actually.
It's actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's weird though because it's like I think I had like a different vibe, like expectation of it. Like I kind of expected it to be more of like a rom-com, which
I have the book and I haven't
is.
read the book yet.
Like it is a rom-com, but it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's really weird. You just have to watch it.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty
My
good.
mom said she liked it, so I'll probably give it a try.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Okay, so Cheers been over for like probably a week by now, but it's been great. Like I've had so much free time, and I'm like, because I already had free time before, because like I lost my job at the end of December, and so like because we all got laid off, and I had no job, and I've been looking for like now like 2 months, and so finally I found 2 jobs. I'm like, okay, so
just work both of them.
Yeah,
Just
that's
work
what I'm
both of
doing.
them.
That's what I'm doing. I'm working at 138 Nutrition on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then I'll be working at the YMCA at like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Fridays, depending on my schedule for the other thing. So,
Are you gonna work weekends?
I'll start working weekends at 138, but I don't think the YMCA I will have to. But we'll see what happens. So, yeah, now I have 2 jobs. I don't know where those 2 jobs were like 2 months ago. Not here.
That's fine.
Dual enrollment, it's pretty chill actually, which is kind of concerning. Because it's like, if it's too easy, it's like weird.
Yeah.
Because like, I remember Toccoa Falls being like easy classes. But now like West Georgia is supposed to be kind of like more, I don't know. It's supposed to be harder, I guess. But like, it's really not. But midterms are coming up for biology. And I don't know how well I'm going to do on that, but we'll see. Then, yeah, just senior stuff in general. Like, I need to get a photographer that's not, like, super expensive to take my pictures. Because I haven't done that yet. And everybody else is taking, like, already 4 different photo shoots. And I haven't done even one. But, yeah. I don't know. So, graduation's approaching, and I don't know how I feel about that, not gonna lie.
Do you have your outfits picked out for senior photos?
No. Well, I guess so, but I don't know. Like, there was, like, this one dress I wanted to get, like, from Altered State, like, last year, but it's, like, so expensive.
Literally all of Altered State dresses are so expensive.
It's ridiculous.
But I love them. They're so cute.
They are. I just, like, I'm, like, waiting. Like, I guess because, like, that's kind of why I was waiting, because I was like, oh, I need to save up money to get the dress.
Yeah.
But then I was like, we just ended up not doing it, and I was like, oh.
Even like their sweatshirts are like $70,
Mm-hmm.
and like they're so adorable. They have like teddy bears on them.
Yeah.
And I want them, but they're $70, and I'm not paying that. I'm sorry.
That's just like those park sweatshirts that are like mock
Oh
neck.
yes, I know.
They are so cute, but they are like, not even like expensive, like $70. It's like $150. So I'm like, that's not even.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm just gonna go to
At that point,
Old Navy.
I'll go to Shein and get the knockoff. Like.
Exactly. So let's just get into like Jesus's birth. I believe, which I forgot to write down, but we're in Luke. I honestly could not tell you what chapter, but I mean, you can figure it out. I mean, they have the little headings on there. Just the birth of Jesus. So like it's kind of starting out where a lot of, it's kind of like a story that you hear a lot, which, some people haven't heard the story. So I don't want to assume, but it's like starting like off like in his birth, like before he was even born, like Caesar Augustus, he was like issuing a decree that he wants like a census being made of like all of the different like citizens in like his territories, like of the entire Roman world. And apparently this was the first census that took place while, I don't know who this guy is, Quirinius was governor of Syria, and everyone had to go back to their hometown to register. And so Mary and Joseph had to go back to Bethlehem because that's where Joseph's from. And so we're in like verse 4. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea to Bethlehem in the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son, and wrapped him in clothes and placed him in the manger because there was no guest room available for them. So basically they're going to like this town of Bethlehem, which now that I think about it, maybe, I don't know, you would think that Joseph would have had family in there, but I guess not, or they just don't live there anymore, because I mean Joseph didn't live there anymore. So he came back to his hometown and he had no place to stay. Like they had no place to stay. So they had to go to a stable, and that is obviously where a bunch of different animals lived. And there's cows, chickens, like, I'm just kind of elaborating.
There's camels.
Yeah. There's a lot of just different animals, and you're over here giving birth right in front of them, like, which I mean, I'm sure they don't care, but it's just crazy. Like, I can't imagine that. I'd be like, Joseph, get me a 5-star hotel right now. Like, what is this?
And all the pregnancy cravings that I want.
Exactly. Like that. Imagine having pregnancy cravings in like, I don't even know what time period this is, honestly, but
I feel like
that's,
I don't know.
Hey, I really want some lamb, like cooked lamb. But meanwhile, while like the baby is being born and everything, there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over the flock at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in clothes and lying in a manger." So imagine you're just like chilling out in the field, right? You're just a shepherd, and you just see all these angels pop up next to you, and you're like, oh my gosh, am I hallucinating right now? Like, it's 3 a.m.
Hey, man.
I would be terrified.
No, literally.
And it's like, I think, because like when I was younger and I would hear like, oh, they're terrified of an angel? Why? Like, they look so nice and stuff. But I've seen, like, obviously I don't know what an angel looks like. I've never seen an angel, guys. But,
what?
Yeah, I know.
That's crazy.
I've never seen one. But I've seen, like, these pictures of, like, biblically accurate angels. And it's, like, a big old eye with, like, wings and stuff. And I'm like, okay, now
I get it.
Now that's a little terrifying. If that's what they look like,
yeah,
please get away from me. I'm sorry. Like, but basically they were just kind of surrounding them and praising God and stuff, and then the angels end up leaving, And the shepherds were like, hey, let's go to Bethlehem and see about the baby that the Lord told us about. So they ended up leaving and they found Mary and Joseph, which is interesting because it's like they don't necessarily know where they're going, but like in the story, like the North Star, I'm pretty sure that's what's called, like it kind of led them to Mary and Joseph, which I think is very interesting.
That's what like sailors use in the ocean.
Yeah.
So
That's just, I think that's really cool. Yeah, so they found them and they found like Jesus in the manger. So verse 17, when they seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told to them about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all of these things and pondered them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they heard and seen, which are just as they had been told. On the 8th day, when it was time to circumcise the child, he was named Jesus, the name of the angel that given him before he was conceived. Oh, wait, why did it not mention? Hold on, wait a second here. Okay, I guess they're not gonna, wait, maybe they did. I'm trying to figure out the part where, like, the different, like, kings and stuff came. I guess, because, like, every single, like, book of the disciples, like, in the New Testament, they all tell the story kind of differently.
yeah.
So Luke might not have mentioned that. I don't know, though. But Jesus ended up, like, being presented in the temple. And in verse 22, when the time came for the purification rites required by the law of Moses, Joseph and Mary took him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord. And to offer a sacrifice in keeping with what is said in the law of the Lord, a pair of doves or 2 young pigeons. Now there was a man in Jerusalem called Simon, who was righteous and devout. He was waiting for the consolation of Israel, and the Holy Spirit was on him. And it had been revealed to him by the Holy Spirit that he would not die before he had seen the Lord's Messiah. Moved by the Spirit, he went into the temple courts, and when the parents brought the child Jesus to do for him what the custom of the law required, Simon took him in his arms and praised God, saying, Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you may now dismiss your servant in peace. That's crazy. Like, imagine, like, waiting your whole life to see Jesus, and God's like, hey, I promise you, you're going to see him, like, before you die.
Yeah.
And this dude's probably, like, at least 100 something years old. So he's like, well, dang, where is he at? And then finally he meets him, like, at his old age, and it's like,
Yeah.
wow, this, okay, now I can rest in peace at this point. So verse 30, so for my eyes had seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all nations, a light for revelation to the Gentiles and the glory of your people Israel. So yeah, basically Simon was blessing, the baby and the mother and Joseph. And there was another prophet named Anna, and she was very old, and she lived with her husband 7 years after her marriage. But then she is now a widow at 84. And she would never leave the temple. She would always be worshiping, fasting, and praying. So at this point, she's there at the temple, and she sees Jesus, and she is giving thanks to God, and speaking to people about the child. And she is like looking forward towards the redemption of Jerusalem. Mary and Joseph returned to Galilee of their own town, Nazareth, and Jesus ended up growing up there, and he was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was on him. Also wanted to mention just like this one story about Jesus, like at the temple, like back in Nazareth. I'll just end up telling the story, and then we can talk about it. Verse 41, every year Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. When he was 12 years old, they went up to the festival according to the custom. After the festival was over, while his parents were returning home, the boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem, but they were unaware of it. Thinking he was in their company, they traveled on for a day. They began looking for him among their relatives and friends. When they did not find him, they went back to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple court, sitting among the teachers, listening to them ask them questions. Everyone who heard him was amazed at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. His mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously searching for you." "Why were you searching for me?" he asked. "Didn't you know I had to be in my father's house?" But they did not understand what he was saying to them. Then he went down to Nazareth with them, and he was obedient to them. But his mother treasured all these things in her heart, and Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and favor with God and man. That's like crazy. Like if I did something like that to my parents,
My mom would.
I'd be in so
literally.
much trouble. Like y'all don't even know. Like they were gone for a whole day and they didn't realize that he was not there. And then they were like, "Oh crap, where is he at,
But
guys?"
that's also partially their fault.
No, yeah, exactly. So maybe that's why they weren't that mad.
Yeah.
But like that's like I guess they were traveling with like a huge group. So I get like maybe for like the first couple of hours like not knowing where he is.
And like it's very, very, very different to like nowadays because like there's so much crime and like all these bad stuff just going on in the world.
And I just wonder like where Jesus was staying during like these 4 days of just being in Jerusalem. Like was he just chilling in the temple? Like probably so.
Probably, it's Jesus.
Yeah, he was just chilling and, you know, asking questions. That's the thing too, is like he was asking like these great teachers questions when Jesus is already a great teacher, even at this time, like
even at his young age.
Yeah, and it's like he's still like trying to like learn and, you know, be there and like understand things, even though he is all knowing and all like understanding. So I think that's crazy. And I think it's funny how you clocked his parents like that.
Hey man,
I mean, he was just telling the truth. Like, yeah, I'm in my father's house. Like,
he brought out that attitude.
He was like, "I'm in my father's house. Like, why are you looking for me?"
Exactly.
All places.
Like, what's wrong with that?
So this is just basically like the foundation of Jesus's life. I mean, he came from Mary, which she was just like she was a good person, you know, like obviously not perfect, but she was a good person. And, you know, Joseph came from like a long line from David, from Boaz, from, you know, like all these just great like leaders. And he came from that lineage. And then obviously Mary became pregnant before she even got married to Joseph.
Yeah.
And that became like a big problem back in their time because that's kind of looked down upon. So he kind of came from this background. And then he ended up being born. And he wasn't even born in, like, a great place or anything, like other kings were. Like, he was just born in, like, a humble, like, setting, which is interesting to me. And then, obviously, now he's growing up and he's just trying to, like, learn where his place is in the world. And he's trying to figure out, like, and learn stuff. So, but next episode, we will be talking about, like, his actual teaching, just his life. And then honestly we could even extend it more and then go to a next episode and talk about his death and like how that was impacted, but you know, we'll see.
His death did like impact a lot of people. And so yeah, we might have to
it might be like a three-parter. But thank you all for listening to our podcast, and thank you for tuning to this episode. So this might be a 2-part, might be a 3-part. We'll see. We'll let y'all know next episode. Tune in next time to hear more about Jesus. And our ending catchphrase. Let's see if I remember it because I did not write it down. Wait, what is it actually?
I actually forget it.
Oh my gosh. It's like from VeggieTales. Oh, why am I forgetting? It's like, just remember, God made you special.
And he loves you very much.
Goodbye.